Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Rallycross GT. This is round 2 of the Spring Series. We are in Japan, in the circuit of Fuji International Speedway. My name is Kurt Dunninger, your host for today. Round 2 of the Spring Series. Round 1 started last week with a very exciting race at, 4 exciting races at Mount Panorama in Australia. Just a short flight distance here from Fuji International Speedway. We had in the KTM division Oni-chan taking a double win, and in the minis we had Tricky Vic also with the double wins. Let's see if they can do the same here today at Fuji. One interesting challenge for the drivers today is that we are racing on the short layout, as they call. If you look here where the cursor is, this part of the track, if you're not familiar with the two layouts, the short layout, as you can see, the car comes here and goes straight. On the long layout, it does a little chicane here, little loop on this part, and that's the layout, the more traditional layout of this track, where most people are used to race. But that's not what we're doing today. So it's going to be interesting for the drivers to adapt to the new entry speeds in that corner. Also, there's rain forecast for today. Just reviewing here the lobby settings. There is a rain forecast for the second half of the race. Now, this means a couple of things. As we know from the physics in Gran Turismo 7, well, not physics, but the weather mechanics, the clouds will come, the light is going to change, the temperature is going to change, which affects grip. But it does not mean that the rain will come. It might not. It remains to be seen. And that also means that all the 4 races today, the 2 from the KTM, the 2 from the Mini, they could have completely different weathers. So let's see how that goes, and let's see who's here today already. So beautiful weather here in Fuji, very, very cloudy and foggy, as we see Ricardo Picles, first one out on the track, skidding a little bit there off turn 1 with his KTM. Picles is one of our veterans driving here in the KTM in VR. Sock Art of Driving early on the track here, warming up with his Mini. So Socrates will be racing in about an hour's time for the next division, starting at 10 a.m. Japan time. He's already on track and warming up. It's the top speed of the Mini when it goes to the braking point. So 256, 258, I think, or almost 260. It's a good top speed. Coach Robe, 4 times champion. Robe, he is back, so he missed round 1 down to some real life commitments. When work calls, you have to attend, and that's life. But he's back, and we expect a lot from him, from the 4 times champion. Let's see the top speed here of the KTM, 257, 58 as well, about the same top speed as the Mini. So interesting statistics there for nerds like me. Yeah, Coach Robe, his first experience with the other guys on track this season. Let's see what he can do. We know he's very fast. We know he puts a lot of practice. He was telling me last night that he didn't have a lot of seat time this week because of work as well. But we know he's a natural. Oni-chan, current championship leader for the KTMs with the 2 early wins. We expect more of the same from him, also driving in VR. So let's see how he does today here at Fuji. So Oni-chan is not Japanese, but he is based in Japan, not far from where I am. So he's racing at home here in Fuji. Don Mitsako's also early on the track here to warm up with his Mini. He's Said he might race with the KTMs as well today. Let's see. He's already on track with the Minis. Had a good race last week. A couple of podiums. Can he do more of that today? Then we have Tricky Vic with 2 early wins there with the Minis last week. He is now with the KTM. He's gonna do some extra race here today. That's very good to see that. So we had some issues last week with empty lobbies. A couple of people pulling out, said that sports tires are too much for them. Fair enough. So we have Vic jumping in to fill in for the KTMs. Lovely to see that. Supporting the league and just here to put up a great show. Rocking some wheel-to-wheel racing liveries. That's nice to see as well. Our friends here from this side of the world, from Australia. If you don't know wheel-to-wheel racing, they are a very popular league in Oceania. They are in the middle of their season right now, and they were racing the KTMs in the first half of their season. And another veteran, the Evil Melon, another very popular driver here in Rallycross GT, also in the KTM division. We are waiting for a couple of people still. It's still early, we're still only 8:50 here in Japan. We start at 9 o'clock and we have Nicole11 here in the chat already saying hello to everyone. Good morning to you, Mrs. Rallycross. I hope you're having a very good day. It's a very cold morning here in Tokyo today. Let's put the heater up a little bit. It's as grim the weather as it is here in Fuji Speedway, as you can see here on board with Evil Melon. Look at the clouds. To be fair, I think yesterday we had clouds like that all over. It's not as bad right now, but it's pretty cold. So when you have the clouds like this, it does affect the track temperature, and it also affects the grip as well. Socrates with a 43.1 with the Mini. We know that the Mini is slightly quicker than the KTM. We heard that Oni-chan was doing some 44s with the KTM, and some people were like raising eyebrows, a little bit worried about his speed. But as it stands, a 43.4 is the fastest time on the KTM. That's from the coach Robe, but Oni-chan is only 500 behind him. Only 500. That's nothing in race terms. And we've seen from pre-season testing, Oni-chan is very good at racing in the slipstream. So we're taking the coach right now on track. I think the coach is the pause button pressed because he's got the hazard lights on. So let us know where you're watching from. We've got a couple of people here already in the broadcast. Let's know where you're watching from, who you are cheering for as well. And don't forget, you know, if you haven't yet, make sure to follow us, subscribe to Rallycross GT Twitch channel if you're watching it live, or subscribe on YouTube as well if you're watching the catch up. Help the channel grow, help us become more and more popular so we can keep bringing more exciting races for everyone. While we are waiting for these guys, let's see what the track looks like from my point of view. So we are now, the lobby's been open for 14 minutes. So 14 minutes would already be the second half of the race, which means the clouds are based on the weather. But if there's no rain on my map right now, whoosh, cold tires, it means that probably we're not going to have rain at all this race. It's a shame. I was hoping for some rain, but I guess not today. The grip is really shoddy here in this first part of the track. the KTM. A lot of analysts here. We have Sharky joining the room today as well. Sharky, our friend from Australia, joining in as a wild card. So today he's got the day off. He's participating in the GT Champions, another international league, and have an Easter break this weekend. So he's got time to race here with us in Rallycross GT. Really nice to have Sharky with us. Seriously fast kid. He's only 17 years old. And really fast, really talented. So he's racing on controller today, he told me. He just had a surgery recently, so he's not able to race with his steering wheel sitting in the rig. It's a little bit too much. So very nice to see Sharky here with us. Hope he's got a speed recovery and he can join us for more racing in the future. Who knows? Mr. Ruckus joining the chat as well, all the way from Australia. Mr. Ruckus, welcome to Rallycross GT, my man. We still got time for the race. We still got another 5 minutes, and we got plenty of space on track. If you want to join us as well as a wild card or as a one-off, if you want to drive us as a permanent driver as well, let me know. I think you are friends with me on the PlayStation Network. You can just jump in, man. Jump in. I remember us racing a while back with Giffor's Lobby, wasn't it? With the trucks. That was a lot of fun. I hope I can join you guys again at some point, but I'm usually busy on my Saturday evenings. I got a martial arts training. I can't wait to join Giffor's Lobby again. Last week we were racing in your backyard, Bathurst, Mount Panorama. So one thing that I try to do when I create Rallycross GT calendar, I try to make it in a way that looks remotely realistic in sense of like logistics. So we start the season in Australia, we fly to Japan, which is not too far. Then we fly to Europe. We're gonna have, I think, 4 rounds in Europe. Like Europe is close to each other, you can logistically fly from one place to the other in a week. Then we fly to Brazil for round 7, the final round of the season, and then for the super final, the playoffs, we go to the US for Laguna Seca. So yeah, I just find that cool, to keep the logistics as realistic as possible, as if we were generally flying from one place to the other. It's a little bit weird how Formula 1 does sometimes, flying to Middle East and then back to Europe, or Europe and then back to the US and then back. It's a bit like, was that a thunder that we saw on the screen? I got a bit sidetracked there. It's the first time that I see perhaps lightning on the screen. Could have been just a glitch, but it did look like a lightning. Didn't know we had that in GT7. Mr. Rook saying, sadly I can't race now, but I will lurk and watch. Yeah, Giffor Saturdays have been good. Last I was F1 cars through the years. Oh, so you did a how's it called? Formula 1 generations, with starting with a classic Honda, going to the either Senna's Classic or what's the other one? The F1050 or F1500A, isn't it? The original car from Gran Turismo, and then finishing with Super Formula, I guess. That's cool. Yes, exactly that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, to be fair, buying that McLaren Honda is quite expensive, and you rely on the legendary cars. It's not ideal. It just costs way too much money. Look what happened to the sky. It looked like an alien invasion there. Some visual glitches happening in the game. Maybe that lightning that I saw was also a visual glitch, but that doesn't matter. Let's just see who else joined here. D-Mock. Checking who D-Mock is. It could be a friend, it could be an enemy, but if he's in the lobby, he's probably a friend because this is a friends only lobby. Some people might be a little bit late because you're finishing off Nations League. Let me just touch base with them again. Checking if the our South American friends are coming or not. If not, we're gonna start anyway. Just dropping our links here in the chat. If you wanna follow the live scores, or if you wanna find out more about Rallycross GT, all the links are in the chat. Oh, too late, D-Mock has left. Fair enough. So, just going through who is here, who is not. So, Silvestre has not arrived yet. And Revs, Funchi. So, Revs pulled out actually. You know that Revs pulled out. Who else is here? So, Vic will be racing. Tricky Vic, adding his name to the list. Sharky, I'm gonna put Sharky in here. We don't see Ted either. Ted was quite upset last round about some contact. We don't know if he's gonna race or not. Asking the guys to put only the KTMs on track. It's 9 o'clock, we should be starting in just a couple of seconds. Don Mitsaku is also racing, so let's add Don here. So we've got a couple more drivers today. That's great stuff. So only Socrates with the Mini. Need to ask him to change or exit. Okay, Socrates has left the race. Good stuff. We're gonna start with qualification then. We've got 7 drivers. Great stuff. Let's go. Welcome to Rallycross GT. If you're just joining us now, we are about to start the qualification session for round 2 of the Spring Series. Here straight from Fuji International Speedway in Japan. 5 minutes qualification. Drivers should be able to do about 2 hot laps perhaps. Then we have race heat number 1, based in our qualification order. Remember, Heat 2 will be in reverse grid order. So if you win race 1, you're going to start at the back in race 2. You're going to see a lot of overtakes. The coach and Onichan starting quite close to each other there. We can see some of the cars twitching a little bit. There might be connection issues. Last week we didn't have that many connection issues. Hopefully today is not going to be too bad either. Ricardo Pickle is the first man out on track, going a bit sideways there in the middle part of the track. We know there's no rain forecast for this race number 1 because if there's no rain in practice, there's not going to be rain in the race. That's one thing that I learned already from the game mechanics. Drivers really skidding a lot here. I can see why some people decided to pull out, saying that the sports tires were too much for them. That's fair enough. That's how we play here in Rallycross GT. We like it rough. We like challenge. And Oni-chan there with a penalty. That's gonna hurt his early attempt to set the pole position. Bear in mind this is grid start, so having a good time, a good qualification is important, but it's not the most important thing in the world. Very bright blue helmet there from Sharky. You can see who's here in front of the coach. It's Don Ritsakus switching lanes a little bit, trying to shake his teammate off. Coach Robe, Don, and Socrates, they all race together in Gran Turismo. Your friends in real life. Actually, Don and Socrates are cousins as well. They're always helping each other here on the track. That's why we call them the Greek squad. Pickles and Vic up front. So Vic has caught up actually, because Pickles was the first one out on track. Really made a mistake. And Vic really caught up. Now he's losing time. They're both losing time, fighting for position in qualification. Vic having to slot behind there, trying to find a place to pass. And the car's twitching a lot, both of them. I hope we don't have any incidents down to connection. Melon at the back, trimming the grass a little bit. Thanks, Melon. But I think the grass is short enough. Maybe that's this. We expect some hectic race here today. Right, first one to cross the finish line will be Ricardo Pickles. They definitely have time for one more lap. So there's a 44.5. Counter drifter half a second quicker, even with that penalty. So counter drifter smashing, and we got the new sound effects here, testing some new things to make the broadcast more and more exciting. Mrs. Rallycross there with the tablet. She's a DJ today with the sound effects. We got some clapping sounds, and when someone does something stupid, hit a DJ. One more. Yeah, so when someone spins, that's what we're gonna be hearing today. Special sound effects. Speaking of sound effects, we do have some new sound alerts that you can use with channel point, burnt rubber. So just click on the little icon, the Rallycross GT logo on the bottom, and you can use the new sound alerts. Some prices have been reviewed as well, so they are cheaper to encourage people to play more sound alerts. During the broadcast, Coach Robe was going purple early on by 3/10. I expect Oni-chan to go purple as well, because he had a penalty in the first lap, and he's very close to Tricky Vic there. Very, very close to Tricky Vic. I don't think they're gonna have time to do another qualifying lap. Let's see. Pico's gonna cross the finish line first. Should improve. Vic and Oni-chan as well. So no improvements for Pickles. Massive improvement for Vic, 43.8, but a 43.6 for Oni-chan. Coach Robe in P2. I think all of them now have crossed the finish line. Yes, all of them have crossed the finish line. Let's see the the results here on screen. That's Oni-chan with a pole position with a 43.615. Only 0.2 of a second quicker than Coach Robe in this qualifying round 1. Tricky Vic also very close to the coach, only 400s behind. So Vic is showing some strong pace, even though he just jumped into the KTMs. Ricardo Pickles and Sharky just under 1 second behind the pole position, but they're very close in pace. We expect some nice battle between the Australian and the Canadian. You couldn't be more far apart in the world than those two. Well, maybe if you're in New Zealand and versus Canada, perhaps, but close enough for comparison. Then we have Mellon, 1.3 of pace, and Dom Isako's 3 seconds. Sure did he messed up 2 laps in a row. Everybody there with the RRR means that they are ready. So let's race. Welcome to Rallycross GT. This is season 5, aka the Sprint Series. Round 2 straight from Fuji International Speedway. The first race of the day is about to start. When the red lights go off, it's race time, and Oni-chan with one more pole position. Here they go, Coach Robe on the inside. Not a very good start from him. Can he get closer into turn 1? You see Vic in the purple car going on the inside. That's a very good line there from Oni-chan. Mellon in the grass. He goes off the track. Not sure what happened to Mellon. Robe continues to be in second place with Vic in P3. Leaving Sharky slightly behind. So who's with the purple car there? I think it was Pickles in the purple car. Or is it Mellon? There's a very good start of race here for Oni-chan, holding on to the lead. Followed by Coach Robe, Tricky Vic, Sharky, Ricardo Pickles, he's the one in the purple car. Don Mitsakos and Evil Mellon that went off track early on. Don Mitsakos trying to go for a move over the Ricardo Pickles, couldn't find the chance just yet, but he'll keep pushing. It's a good start of race, 20 minutes of race. We are expecting, I think, 11 or 12 laps. I did not do the calculation just yet. Let's go up to the front. Coach Robe really close. Let's go on board with the coach as he chases Oni-chan. Oh, Oni-chan sideways. A little bit of contact between them. Oni-chan still holds the inside line. Coach Robe is gonna go around the outside. There's a battle of D-pad versus VR headset and steering wheel so far. We have Oni-chan holding onto the lead just about. But Coach Robe is pushing really hard. We saw a little bit of contact there in the final sector, but Tricky Vic is only 4/10 behind. It's super close, trying to stay close in the slipstream. We're gonna see Robe going for the move. Yes, he does. He goes around the inside. Oni-chan does not try to defend, and Vic as well goes for a lunge from super far and gets the position as well. Oni-chan loses 2 positions in 1 corner, but this is only the first race. And yeah, you need to manage yourself. Don't push too hard, because you don't win the race in the first lap, but you can definitely lose it in the first lap. Let's just see there, where the hell did Vic come from with that move? We are here with Vic in P3. We see Robe going on the inside. I think Oni-chan, he was very cautious, and he left a huge gap there for Vic. He probably hit the brakes a little bit earlier, and then very cautious, ended up giving too much space for the opportunistic Vic, Tricky Vic. End up losing 2 positions. That is now allowing Coach Robe to open a small gap. You can see how he's going sideways there. Shark in his debut as a wild card in Rallycross GT in P4 at the moment. not far off pace. He's just getting to the slipstream off on each end. Are we going to have a four-way battle for the front there? That would be pretty good to see. Ricardo Picles losing a little bit of pace towards Sharky, but he managed to get past Dom Mitsakos and leaves him behind. 3 seconds gap. We have a battle between Melon and Dom, but let's go to the front there. I want to see these guys, the front runners. There's going to be more exchange of positions. Not yet. Back to Melon. Yes, he goes on the inside of Don. And yes, he will get the pass. He will get the job done. Melon up to P6. Fighting with the mini regular Don Mitsakos. Goes a little bit wide now, Melon. And Don around the outside, he goes up to P6. Very good move from Don, taking advantage of the mistake from the American driver. It's a very exciting start of race. We have Onichan super close to Vic still. Cannot find a gap to get past, and this is allowing Coach Robey to open a gap. Do not want Robey to get away. I mean, they don't want Robey to get away, otherwise they will not be able to catch up. Vic is just outside slipstream range. He needs to stay a little bit closer to be able to mount an attack here. And while we know that Onichan was very cautious on that turn 1, we know that Robey does not like braking early like Onichan did there. So Vic's gonna have the same opportunity. They're gonna go side by side here. Side by side, Vic and Onichan. Onichan gets the job done. He's up to P2. 9/10 off Robey. No switcheroo for Vic this time. No contact either. That's good stuff. And here they go for another lap. We're seeing some changes of positions here. I think Pickles probably made a mistake. He was already in P5. Thought I saw Pickles behind Melon for some reason. I think Melon is now in P7. So Pickles and Sharky qualified really close to each other. They are battling for positions still. I think this is going to be a long race for those two. Robey continues to lead the race with a 44.1 lap time, 44.0 actually, fastest lap of the race, and Onichan goes wide. Onichan goes really wide there in that chicane corner. Got the tires dirty. He's lucky he did not get a penalty, but that almost allowed, yes, Vic will be able to get P2 back. Not just quite yet. They're super close. Advantage is for Vic on the inside, and yes, he goes up to P2. Good move from Vic, taking advantage of the mistakes from Onichan. He's still within slipstream range. He should be able to fight back. 0.3 gap. I think Vic lunged from further than that last in lap 1. He goes to the inside to defend. Yeah, Vic does not want to leave anything to chance. We're gonna see a switch here from Onichan. Too far. And we can see it's getting cloudy here in Fuji now. The clouds are creeping in. I don't think we're gonna see rain though, unfortunately. It's a very good battle here for the second position in this race. Vic filling in for the KTM division to make the grids a little bit bigger, and he's doing a very good job. Coach Robey 2.6 seconds ahead. He's taking advantage of the battle here between Onichan and Vic. Further back, Sharky holding back Ricardo Picles. The battle for P4. And they're only 5 seconds off the leader in 10 minutes of race. They're not massively off pace here. Little mistake from Sharky. Sharky is on the controller today. He's not really on the wheel. He's doing a very good job. I think I'm seeing some raindrops actually. Yes, we do have some rain. We can see the water meter is going up. So the weather forecast from the practice was wrong. We do have a little bit of rain. Maybe not enough to make the track super slippery, but we do have rain. And we're gonna have an overtake here from Onichan over Vic again at turn 1. Here they come. Onichan's already on the inside. He's already with half a car ahead, and he will complete the move. No trouble for him. He's up to P2. Vic's gonna try a payback. And he gets it. He gets the job done again with another mistake from Onichan. Goes a little bit too wide there. These cars are very, very understeer, even though they are middle engine cars. The KTM in particular is very understeery. And I think Onichan is struggling to handle that at the moment. Evil Melon and Dominitzakos. Melon's back to P6. The two here fighting to see who's gonna be last place. And at the moment, Don is winning that battle. Melon goes up to P6. We have battles right, left, and center, front, middle, and back of the grid. That's great stuff. It's exactly what we want to see here in Rallycross GT. Let us know where you're watching from, who you're cheering for. We've got 7 drivers here on the track in this race 1. And Tricky Victor continues to hold Onichan, the winner from the mini races in round 1 versus the winner of the KTM races. Vic filling in for the KTMs and doing a very good job, by the way. Not bad at all. Battle continues and Coach Robe continues to open the gap, which is now 3.5. No mistakes from him during the race, and every single lap into the 44. So just put a 44.0. Now almost matching his best lap. But we have actually Onichan with the fastest lap of the race. I hadn't noticed that before. That is a 43.7. That was probably when he overtook Vic earlier in the race. And we're gonna see these two here fighting for the whole race, and that's good stuff. Oh, little mistake from Vic. We see the dust there going up. Got the left tire's dirt. That's gonna hurt him a little bit. We can see Onichan getting closer and closer. We are on board with him now. Look how cloudy it is here in Fuji Speedway. And how much understeer there on Onichan's KTM. Lost a little bit of contact with the understeers. Now half a second back. He's avoiding the slip there for some reason. We see no more sign of rain on the track at the moment. I think that early rain was probably down to the random slot and not the rain settings that we had set for the race. Ricardo Pickles losing a little bit of ground against Sharky, the Australian. Sharky doing a very good job in his debut, holding P4 right from the start. Also considering he just came back from a small surgery, he's recovering. That's why he's on controller today, and he is smashing it. Very good job. An absolute warrior being here after so much time and in recovery as well. Melon opening a little gap to Don Mitsakos as well, 2.5. The tire wear on the KTM is not bad at all. Very, very gentle the tire wear after the update. So this 1.31 has changed a lot of the tire wear. Very good for the KTM guys. Helps the minis as well. If you guys watched the races last week and in Spa, especially in Spa, which was before the update, the minis had a horrible tire wear. It was really, really extreme, which was intentional. But now it's nowhere near as bad as it was before. So Onichan seems to be cooking big there. He's getting off the slip. He does not want to get past. I think he will leave it until close to the end of the race to get past Vic and not give a chance for Vic to fight back. Racing is not all about speed, it's about strategy as well, and you can see that Onichan is being a bit of a strategist. He goes closing the gap a little bit, down to 1 second, 0.4 now. I think we had a mistake from Shark, we didn't catch that on screen. But Ricardo Pickle is super close as they come to the middle sector. Sharky with a lot of connection instability there. The car going sideways a little bit again. Ricardo Pickle is trying to find a gap. We're on board with him now. Braking early. Oh no, he got the tires dirty again. Oh, a little bit of contact. Almost. Yeah, these connection issues, they could be very, very, very chaotic sometimes. We almost saw carnage there down to connection. We can see the Shark is a little bit shaking. But no contact so far. That's good stuff. Because he's a very experienced driver. He knows what he's doing. A little bit like Kimi, don't need to tell him what to do. 0.5 seconds gap. I think it's too far to make a move. Up front, Onichan 0.6 as well, also too far to make a move. Let's go back here, gap goes down about a 10th. Oh, he is making a move from 0.4 behind, and he completely overshoots the corner. No, what a mistake from Ricardo Pickles. Trying to go for the move and completely botches it. You're gonna have to look at the replay again. He goes for the move. Yes, Ricardo Pickles completely missed the chance there, being a bit too greedy. Now he's got 3 seconds to make back again. Closed the gap before, but now he has to do it all over again. He's only has 3 minutes left of the race. 3 minutes left. There should be another. I think we're gonna finish with 12 laps this race. I think. And actually, Coach Robe, he's been losing a little bit of pace. He had a 45.4 the last race, so 44.7, 44.5, and then 45.4. So losing time compared to his previous laps. While Vic and Onichan, they are in the low 44s in this last couple of laps. I'm not entirely sure what happened to Robe, what caused that time loss, because we don't have the delta per sector. But yeah, the gap is only 1.5 seconds now, and look how cloudy it is. They are lucky not to have rain, but these clouds, they are going to affect grip, they are going to affect visibility, and the glare from the lights as well. They don't make it any easier for the drivers. So if Oni-chan is going to make a move, he's running out of time. He's got the fastest lap of the race, but he's running out of time. He needs to push a little bit harder. He needs to get a good exit in this lap. Perhaps make the move in this lap and then just hold in the next lap. Yeah, so I think they're gonna open lap 12. There is not gonna be enough time to open lap 13, and that's gonna be it for them. Further back, Sharky holding those 3 seconds, hard-earned 3 seconds over the Ricardo Pickles. And Melon with a 4-second gap over Don Mitsakos. So Don also filling in from the minis into the KTMs. Struggling a little bit with pace. Much better than his qualifying lap though, in terms of race pace. But still not where he would like to be, I guess. Let's see Oni-chan. This is the final lap for them. It's all or nothing. The gap is just over a second. Coach Robe holds that 1.5 seconds. Goes a little bit wide down to the dirt. The hype is building up here for this final few corners of the race. They're just out of the middle sector with Robe still in the race. Lost a little bit of time here again. It's 1.2 now, lost 3/10 to Vic. Vic's going purple now, so Vic suddenly, beast mode on, he's going purple. Can he steal the fastest lap of the race from Oni-chan? You don't get anything from fastest lap, only bragging rights. Still, it's nice bragging rights. It's a little bit sideways, perhaps misses chance of stealing the fastest lap. Robe goes wide in the final corner. But brings it back, the sound of the horn now, celebrating early already. 0.9 seconds gap. And Coach Robe is going to take the first win of the day here with the KTMs in Fuji Speedway, followed by Tricky Vic and Oni-chan with Sharky in his debut will take a P4. Very good result for him. Ricardo Pickles in P5. Evil Malon just about now crossing the finish line will take P6. Good race from Melon Man, sounding the horn to celebrate. And Don Mitsakos cross the finish line in P7. The coach is back, the 4 times champion is back. Let's save the replay and the official results on screen for this race 1. It's Coach Robe, Tricky Vic and Oni-chan in the podium, with Oni-chan holding on to the fastest lap of the race. Melon only 3/10 of the pace there for in terms of fastest lap. 3/10 of the pace of Sharky and Pickles, I mean. But still into the 44s. So Robe, the only one that did not get into the 43s of the top 3 drivers. Let's reset, change the settings, because race 2 is now with reverse grid. Ricardo Pickles here in the chat saying, ouch, what's that, Pickles? Is that the result, or is that because we were doing the spin sound on you? Let's see the order of the drivers. Just need to wait for everybody to ready up. Very good race one. Action from start to finish. People saying ouch to both. Well, tough shit, man. But it was a good attempt. It was a good attempt. Just didn't work out. Doesn't always work out. Just waiting for Robe, and we're gonna put them in order. Yes, everybody is in the track. Let's put them in order. So that was Dom Misakos coming last place, so he's gonna have the pole position for this race, followed by Evil Melon, then Ricardo Pickles, Sharky, Onichan, Vic, and Rolbay. Big Sue saying, I put too much pressure on myself with those kinds of races, I swear. I could see, man. Victory has personally defeated me. Yeah, it was a good battle between you two. I thought you were cooking him for a while. But at a point, I think it just became a bit too late to fight back. And Vic took that one. But great race between you two. And that allowed Robe to get away in front. Right, everybody seems to be ready, so let's race. Welcome to Rallycross GT Spring Series. This is round 2 from Fuji International Speedway. Heat 2 for the KTM division about to start. Coach Robe back to racing in the winning ways. He's gonna start in the back in this race with reverse grid. Dom Mitsakos with the pole position, and here they go. Melon on the inside is gonna try to make an early move on Dom Mitsakos. We're seeing some changes positions at the back. Very good start from Sharky there, going to P3, P2. A little bit of contact, and Dom Mitsakos gets pushed wide. Someone else there in the grass, that's Evil Melon. And Sharky with the whole shot up to P1. What a start from the Australian driver. With Coach Robe coming from last to second. What a move as well from the coach. With Tricky Vic in P2 and Ricardo Pickles in P4. Onichan did not have a good start. He's down in P6 at the moment. He's gonna have a lot of ground there to make. That is great stuff for Robe and Vic. They only have Sharky ahead of them, and then they have clean tread, but Sharky is not gonna give the position away easily. Ridge Racer joining the chat now. Sup guys, see you all in the mini. No worries mates, it's good to have you here with us in the chat. I can't wait to have you in the track as well. And look at Ricardo Pickles putting some pressure on Vic here right from the start. He was not happy with his performance in the first race. Trying to do better this time with the purple car. Vic trying to get away, trying to get the coach as well. He's super close, 3/10 gap. Sharky 4/10 as well. I think that's enough for him to remain safe, but I think we're gonna see some moves here. Let's go on board with Ricardo Pickles and see what the guys up front are going to do. It's too far for Pickles to make a move, and no moves at the moment. And Vic actually tries something around the outside and overcooks a little bit. Almost goes too wide there. Vic loses the contact he had with Coach Robe, loses the slipstream, and now he's under threat from his mates, the Canadian Ricardo Pickles. Sharky as well. He's got Coach Robe breathing down his neck, pushing bumper to bumper, but Sharky is gonna resist. for as long as he can. Coach going around the outside, but I don't think he can make that movie stick. Yes, he can around the inside, goes for the switcheroo against the Australian, but the Australian is trying to fight back. He's got the inside line, he's got the advantage. Next corner is to the right. Shark is gonna get the position back, and yes, he does. Around the chicane corner, but the coach fights back. The coach is on the inside again and gets the position, and Tricky Vic, that's 2 for 1 for them. Sharky loses the positions, he's down to P3. Ladies and gentlemen, what a hectic start of race here. This is only lap 2 out of 12. Only 3 minutes of race passed. Have 17 minutes left to go. And so many overtakes here right at this start of race. We have Coach Robe now in the lead from last to first, with Tricky Vic right behind him one more time. Sharky held bravely there the lead for as long as he could. He's now down in P3. Ricardo Pickles with a penalty that's surely gonna cost him that P4. Oh, Vic and the coach here almost making contact, and Vic managed to get a pass. I'm not sure if there was actual contact between them, but I saw Robe try to shut the door, close the braking zone, and that might have cost him the position. We're gonna try to see on the replay what happened. Yeah, he just overcooked. I don't think there was contact there. He overcooked, trying to defend, and almost lost the position to Sharky as well. Sharky remains under pressure from Ricardo Pickles there, but he's got the penalty. He's gonna lose that position to Oni-chan. But can Vic beat Robe on the track? That's gonna be interesting. Sideways moment there for the coach. Ridge Raider cheering for the Pickles, his teammates from Flying Fox Racing Team. The final corner here for this lap 3. Coach Robin is half a second behind, that's too far for a lunge. Sharky is within slip range, Pickles as well, but he's gonna pay the penalty, lose a little bit of time. We see Oni-chan zooming past on the outside, exchanging slipstreams. Anyone going for a late lunge here? No, they won't. Vic holds the lead. Coach goes a little bit too wide. And Sharky, he's putting up a great fight here. He's now putting some pressure on the 4 times champion, 4 times RXGT champion Robe. Sharky, the young Australian, showing that he is fast with the controller, almost as fast as he is with the wheel. Oni-chan up to P4 now.
That is a controller player!
Yes, that is a controller player indeed. Well, to be fair, Coach Robe is also a controller player. And so is Vic. So the top 3 drivers in this race, they're all controller players today. They're showing those stinky steering wheel drivers how it's done. Old school is the best. Speaking of old school, that's how Coach Robe drives, with the D-pad, square and X for throttle, and he's going for the move over Tricky Vic. Gets P1 back. Way to go for Robe, trying to shake Vic off, switching positions there. Doesn't seem to work out. And Shark is bringing Oni-chan with him. Oni-chan, going very close to the wall. Even made contact there, going on around the outside. Now they're 4 drivers super close, a little bit of contact between them. I think a little bit of contact, and Robe from first to P4. We're gonna have to get a long replay of that one, see if there was generally contact or not. But Robe now loses position. He's fighting Onichan. Gas P3 goes a little bit wide. Onichan's gonna fight back. He's got the inside line because of the little mistake from Robe. Big battle here for the top 4 positions. Onichan going around the outside. This time Ricardo Pickles somehow getting into that battle as well. It's a 5-way battle for the lead in this heat too. I think all drivers are a little bit more warmed up now. They know a little bit more what to expect of the track and of the cars. And Sharky is now pushing Tricky Vic. Shark is now got like a serious chance of winning this race. Coach Robe back up to P3. Ricardo Pickles and Onichan, the 2 VR drivers, fighting for P4 and P5. Onichan gas the pass done on the inside. Loses a little bit of traction on the exit. And he is side by side with Ricardo Pickles. A drag race until turn 1. They are literally side by side. Look at that's gonna look great in the photos. Onichan gets the pass off it on the inside. Overshoots a little bit the corner. And Ricardo Pickles is gonna take P4 back. Little mistake from Onichan there in the braking zone. And then Ricardo Pickles gets the position back. Let's go and check the replay of the previous lap. What happened there with the coach? So he changes position, goes to the outside, and I think there was a little bit of lag there. Suddenly, Vic was on the inside and Robe was sent flying away. I think there was a little bit of lag and Robe ended up getting pushed. Back to the race now. Tricky Vic still in the lead with Sharky, super close. Coach Robe P3, Ricardo Pickles P4, Onichan P5. Evil Melon is only 1.6 seconds off the leaders. He's still actually in contention for potential podium here, considering the amount of mistakes we've seen so far. And only Dom Mitsakos struggling a little bit with pace. He's in P7 at the moment, 6 seconds off Melon. Half of the race already passed. Robe got past Sharky there in the middle sectors. We missed the overtake. Shark has got a chance of getting the position back here at the end of the straight in T1. The coach goes in the defensive. Sharky has got more speed. He's got more than half a car ahead. He's going to go the long way around. Runs out of space. Ends up in the green bit. Oh, almost spins. Ricardo Pickles as well. It was a tandem drift there for both of the drivers. They managed to hold on to the track, just about both of them. But yeah, good move there from the coach. Recovering P2. Canadian and Australia now fighting for the final podium slot. What happened to Onichan? He's clocking a 43.7. Coach Robe now with a 43.5, the fastest lap of the race. It might have been the fastest lap of the day, I'm not entirely sure. As we see Ricardo Pickles getting past Sharky and allowing Onichan to close that gap as well. What's the gap between Vic and Robe? That is just under a second. With 8 minutes to go. The gap's going down. So Vic can take this win, but still got a lot of work to do. Sharky on the inside of Pickles. Onichan right behind. Are we gonna have a bump draft here? Who's Onichan gonna help? If he's gonna help, we have a 3-way battle here. Sharky just outside range of those two. But he's got the inside, he gets Pickles. Sharky gets Pickles, Onichan up to P3 now. Great move coming from P5 in the start of the straight, up to P3 at the end of the straight. He needs these points. He had a perfect start in round 1, but he needs a couple of extra points here in this race. Remember, in the Spring Series, we have 7 rounds of 2 heats each, and so that's 14 heats in total, and you can discard the result of 4 heats during the season. So if Onichan, this is his worst result in the season, he can discard this and some other 2 heats, and doesn't matter, you know, but still you need to get as good scores as you can have. It doesn't matter too much for Sharky because he's only here for 1 day. He's here as a sub driver. He's just here to have fun. I hope he is having fun. I hope he's enjoying his time here with us in Rallycross GT. Would love to have him back later in the season. We see Pickles shaking a little bit in the background, losing traction on the corner exits before the straight. And Tricky Vic is gapping Robe a little bit. We saw Robe losing performance towards the final stages of the race, and in fact Vic was gaining time towards the final stages of the race. So 44.3, the fastest lap from Vic right now. Still way off Robe's fastest lap. I saw he was going purple now. Last lap from the coach was 44.3, 44.8 before that. And sorry, Onichan 44.7, 43.7. It's a very good lap, by the way. And then 44.2, so Onichan is closing the gap. He's a little bit too far. 3 seconds behind the coach with 5 minutes to go. He needs to put some seriously fast laps and hope that the coach loses more performance if he is to take that P2. I don't think he can win this race. Vic is too consistent at the moment. Sharky putting 44.6 as his fastest personal lap. Was not able to improve any further than that. But oh no, 1 second penalty. 1 second penalty for Sharky for cutting the corner there. He's got a 2 second advantage to Ricardo Pickles, but a 1 second penalty on the straight, it costs more than just 1 second. How far back is Melon? He's only 1 second behind Pickles as well, 1.2 seconds. Right, how much time is Sharky gonna lose here? He just paid the penalty, it was 2.7 before the penalty. How close is Pickles gonna get? 1 second and going down. Yeah, that cost him like at least a second and a half, almost 2 seconds, that 1 second penalty there. Yeah, having penalties in some tracks hurt a lot more than others. Tommy Sako's here. We didn't give him a lot of screen time today. He's too far back in this race. Had some good battles with Melon in race 1, but a bit out of pace here in race 2. Back to the front with Vic. The gap is going up to 1.5. So Vic did not go purple. He's going actually purple in the first sector, so. But then I think Robe is quicker in the final sectors. But the gap is 1.6. So Vic was 1/10 quicker than Robe in the last lap. 44.2 here versus 43.9 from Onichan. So Onichan is closing the gap on Robe, but can he pass? 3 minutes left. We're gonna have the same 12 laps, I guess. Top 3 all get into the straight at the same time. Only 3 seconds gap between first and third. Sharky holding on to P4, had some great performances at the start of the race. Pulling back a little bit now after that penalty, out of contention for the podium. But he is holding Pickles back quite well, and Malin is closing the gap on Pickles. North American duo here in Rallycross GT. Can Malin finish ahead of Pickles? Bragging rights of the gentlemen, the old gentlemen. We've got a bunch of drivers here over 40s, close to 50s. I cannot make too much fun of them because I'm getting close to the 40s as well. And I think all of them have more hair left than I do as well. So. Anyway, back to the race. Oni-chan down to 1 second gap. He just stole the fastest lap of the race. It's a 43.520. And the gap to Coach Robey is less than a second and is going up towards Vic. So Robey, as we saw in the first race, he is losing a little bit of performance towards the final stages of the race. While not so much loss of performance for Vic and Oni-chan. As they get into the straight, Oni-chan just about into the slipstream as they get into the final lap. It's the same position that he had with Vic last race, but this time he is in the slipstream. He needs to close that gap and try something before the end of the lap. Flashing the lights at the coach. He wants that P2. He wants to finish ahead of the boss. 4 times champion Robey against the rookie Oni-chan. Very young driver as well, in his first full season with us in Rallycross GT. We've seen the two of them racing before together in lobbies back in GT Sports. With open tuning, road cars, but now it's eco machinery for everyone, eco conditions. So it's a very nice battle. Everybody's been excited to see this, very rooting, very hyped. Can Oni-chan beat the coach on the track? Bear in mind that the coach started in last position in this race. He started in P7 because he won race 1. Got to P1 in just a couple of corners. 3/10 gap. Vic with almost a 2-second advantage. Couple of corners left. Can Oni-chan do it? Can the coach hold on to P2? Final corner for Vic. Very good exit for him. No mistakes from the coach here. Very good traction off the corner. And Tricky Vic is gonna take the win in Heat 2 here in Fuji International Speedway ahead of Coach Robey and Oni-chan in P3. Sharky in his debut is gonna take P4. Holding up Ricardo Pickles and Evil Malin. Don Misaki is going to close this one in P7 one more time. A good effort there from him as well. Driver from the Greek squad. Crossing the finish line now. But that is 1 win for Coach Robey in Heat 1. And 1 win for Tricky Vic here in Race 2. What a race from him. Clap, 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 clap. Well done, well done. Let's save the replay. What a race, ladies and gentlemen. Very good stuff. Congratulations to Coach Robey for the win in race 1 and to Tricky Vic for the win in race 2. Here are the official results. Tricky Vic, Coach Robey and Oni-chan in the podium. Sharky with the P4, Ricardo Pickles P5, Evil Malin and Don Mitsakos. Evil Malin, look at his lap time, his fastest lap. A 44.3. He was faster than Pecos and Sharky actually. Huge improvement from Alan from race 1 to race 2. Well done. Not so much in terms of finish position, but lap times certainly improved. Right, we're gonna have a short break, guys, and when we are back, we will have the Mini VGT division, Mini Countryman VGT. Don't go anywhere. We're gonna be back very, very shortly. Hello and welcome to Rallycross GT. If you're a car fan and you're visiting Japan, here's something very unique for your trip. Let me introduce you to Ichioku Tours. They are a company that allows you to rent Japanese sports cars to drive them around Tokyo. I will be testing one of these 1989 Unos Roadsters, but they also have other JDM cars available to rent. Shall we go? This is a really unique way of exploring the city from a different angle. All you need for this is an international driving permit or a valid Japanese driver's license. Ichioku Tours offers a number of predefined routes which take you around some of Tokyo's most famous neighborhoods, but you can also simply rent the car and drive it around by yourself. If you need to use the navigation system while driving, but you don't want to use your mobile data, you can rent a pocket Wi-Fi for a small extra charge. You can also rent an ETC card, which is a must if you want to drive on the expressways. Most cars come equipped with air conditioner, Bluetooth speakers, and a dash cam. They also offer emergency phone support in case you have any trouble while driving. I will leave Ichioku Tour's details in the video description below, so you can check out their website and follow them on social media. And if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That's it for today's ride. See you next time. Welcome back to Rallycross GT. This is round 2 of the Spring Series, straight from Fuji International Speedway. My name is Kurt Dunninger, your host for today. And we are about to start here with the Mini Countryman VGT division. And a very exciting KTM division with Coach Robe and Tricky Vic taking the wins for race 1 and race 2 respectively. Very good stuff from those gentlemen. And here we're gonna have Domi Takos, who was actually filling in there for the minis, for the KTMs as well. Did not have a very good race, but appreciate making the grids a little bit fatter. Rob on drums with his beautiful Sakura inspired livery. Rob was just messaging there on chat that he's got a brand new rig today. First time with the new rig. Quite excited to see that. That's going to improve his performance. We have Socrates in his trusty lime green, yellow, white and blue Mini as well. Our good old friend Ridge Raider from Flying Fox Racing, and KTM regular Ricardo Pigles filling in here for the minis as well. He's racing in VR. He's not particularly happy about racing with the Mini because there's no onboard camera, so it's a bit iffy with the VR. Right, we've got everybody ready. Let's start qualification so we don't delay too much. Welcome to Rallycross GT. If you're just joining us now, qualification for the Mini Countryman VGT division is about to start. This is going to be Heat 1 with qualification, and then we have Heat 2 with reverse grid positions. With the first one off the pits, that's Tricky Vic. Domisako's going really wide there, and then we have Rob on drums and Ricardo Pigles allowing each other to go through there in turn 1. I wonder how the weather is going to play out here for the minis. We saw a little bit of rain in race 1 for the KTMs, not enough to affect the grip, but then on the actual rain settings we didn't see anything, just a lot of clouds. Let's see what happens with the minis today. Right now I have beautiful blue sky. You can see Mount Fuji there in the background. Actually been quite close to Mount Fuji. We've been to Kawaguchiko, Lake Kawaguchi in January. I think it was closer to Mount Fuji than the track is, and it is as impressive as it looks here from this angle. Yeah, it was definitely closer than this, and from slightly further north than the track is. Never been to the track yet. Being here with Ridge Racer. Unfortunately, we do not have onboards in this car, so we can have a couple of bumper cameras or hood cameras, maybe chase cameras, but no onboards today. Right, they are opening their fast laps. We saw 43.5, I think he was the fastest lap, at least in the second race, for the KTMs. I wonder what a fast lap looks like for the minis. I have zero intel on that, so this is going to be our first experience. Bear in mind as well, qualification is done with empty tank, and they actually have tailwind into turn 1. As you can see, 3.1 meters per second wind going towards northeast, which is the same direction, broadly speaking, as the main straight. So they're gonna have quite a bit of overspeed into turn 1 that might cause a few drivers to go off track, perhaps. Should do a lot better in this race than he did with the KTMs. Didn't have a lot of practice there, literally just jumped in because he's a gent, helping out the league, you know, to fill up the grids and put up a great show for you spectators, our 11 lurkers watching right now. Tricky Vic with a 41.9, so 2 seconds quicker than the KTM. Robin drums with a 50.2 though. And Ridge Raider just crossed the finish line now with a 45. So I think Rob probably had a mistake or something, because he's too far back from Vic at the moment. Socrates with a 42.7. It's not far off his cousin Domi Tsakos. 4 times difference between them. We saw Pickles there having a little battle with Socrates. Oh, he goes a little bit wide. Oh no, disaster for Pickles. Where is he now? He's in the wall. Pickles is in the wall. I hope he did not compromise Socrates' lap too much. He's on VR here and he does not have the mirrors because there's no onboard camera. Perhaps he did not see Socrates coming, and that ended up putting him in the wall. We see Vic going a little bit wide as well. So just doing his thing, trying to look cool in the broadcast. See him doing that before some celebratory donuts at the end of Mount Panorama Race 2. There goes Socrates, unable to improve his time, probably after the contact with Pickles. No improvement for Don, no improvement for Pickles. Yes, and Rob does improve his time with a 45.0. Ridge Raider just shy of an improvement, and here's Vic now. He's gonna do some donuts. Yes, he will. Let's hide all the information. That's Vic doing some tricks. At the end, here is the qualification results for Heat 1. Vic with the pole position with a time of 41.9. He is flying. Sock Art of Driving 7/10 off. Domitsakos a little bit further back, and then we have Ricardo Pickles struggling there with the VR headset and the minis. Then Robin Drums and Ridge Raider. We saw some nice battles between the two in round 1. Expecting to see more of that here for round 2 in Fuji International Speedway. Drivers seem to be ready. Let's get racing. Rallycross GT. This is Season 5, aka the Spring Series Round 2, straight from Fuji International Speedway. Tricky Vic with the pole position as the Mini VGTs are about to get racing. Here they go, someone got stuck there at the start, that was Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider got stuck from the start, maybe a jump start for him, I'm not sure. Good start from Socrates, going around the inside of Vic with the early overtake, maybe a little bit of contact there and Vic went wide. But nice move from Socrates, gets past Ricardo Pickles, gaining one position as well, and Don Mitsakos had the worst of the starts there, losing one position there to Pickles. Rob on drums, holding on to P5, and Ridge Raider after that poor start being P6. I'm very curious to see the tire wear of these cars in this track. We know the Minis are very tire hungry, and this track features some heavy braking points. They are going to wear the tires really, really quick. I'm expected to have at least one pit stop this race, but let's see. No one on mediums. Medium tires are optional. You can use if you want. But I think because the pit stops here are really quick, and there's no advantage in taking them. A little bit of contact between Don Mitsakos and Pickles. Don gets the pass. Pickles tries to go around the outside, cut inside the apex. Almost got the job done there, but he's super, super close. Let's go on chase cam here. Beautiful new livery from Ricardo Pickles. Itasha Inspire. We have some movement there up front as well between Vic and Socrates. Let's go up there. Vic's gonna go around the outside. Socrates defending really, really hard, and he overshoots the corner, and that is Socrates out in the grass. Mistake from Socrates there, and Tricky Vic gets P1 back with Ricardo Pickles holding on to P3 ahead of Don Mitsakos. So Pickles got the position back actually, probably as well at the end of the straight, and between Rob on drums and Ridge Raider, we're gonna have another battle here very soon. Quite close. Lovely livery from Rob with Baby Yoda staring down the competition. And Vic got past and already opened 2.3 seconds. Vic is absolutely unbeatable with the Minis. Super, super strong driver. Socrates in P2, but Ricardo Pickles, he's closing the gap. Pickles is closing the gap. He really wanted to race with the Mini when we announced the cars, and he was a bit disappointed when he found out that there was no cockpit view. That's why he went to the KTMs. But seems to be doing quite well here, even without cockpit racing in VR. Unless he switched to the flat screen TV. I'm not sure. And the North American battle between Rob on drums and Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider closed the gap, lost a little bit again. 43.9 the time. They are both much quicker than they were in qualification. Both qualifying within into the 45s. Rob taking the best, getting the best of the battle here for now. P5. You see some dust there being lifted by Pickles, going really wide in the corner. Not wide enough to get the tires too dirty. And we can see the tire wear is already as high as a KTM for the whole race, and this is only the end of lap 3. They're surely gonna have to pit at some point during this race. I'm curious about the pit windows. We're gonna see people going to the pit stops at different times. So let's go here to the back because Ridge Raider has got the slip from Rob, and Rob also has got a penalty. As they storm down the main straight, Ridge Raider looking on the inside a little bit too far. Early on the brakes, not to make a mistake like we saw Socrates early on. Very clever move from Ridge Racer, not compromising his race, not the colleagues, not in the colleagues race. That's good stuff. Nichols in P3. Lost a little bit of contact to Socrates now. But managing the gap to Don. Right in between the Greek squad. The top 4 drivers here, they all were in the super finals last season, in season 4. Very nice battle between them. Ended up with this man here taking the silver home, and this man taking the bronze. Coach Robe in the KTM's champion one more time. It looks like he's got some competition this season. Looking forward to it. Rob on drums paying the penalty now. That's gonna cost him the 5th place. There goes Ridge Raider, storms past. Rob is almost falling off the slip at the end of the straight. 260 kilometers per hour at the end of the straight. These cars are much faster than they look. And the clouds are starting to creep in here in Fuji. So the light is changing. We are on reverse chase cam with the Ridge Raider. That's the defense from Rob on drums. They don't have the headlights on just yet. Very soon they will need it. Goes a little bit too wide there. Ridge Raider touches one wheel on the grass. These cars are 4-wheel drive, and you cannot control the torque distribution. So they become, nor the brake bias, by the way. So they become very understeery, which is not even fun at some point. Let's see how they do with the tire wear. Gap between Pickles and Socrates is 1.5. Let's continue with our American friends. Rob is very close, gonna try to make a move at the end of the straight. Let's go on board. Bumper cam, I like this one more, sorry, boot cam. 3/10 going down. Looking on the inside, a little bit too far, late on the brakes. And Rob on drums managed to get the pass. He's up to P5 again. Leaves Ridge Raider behind. Ridge Raider did not put much of a defense there. Did not try to shut the door. And Tricky Vic with 4.3 seconds lead over Socrates in a 42.1 fastest lap of the race and of the day. We know that the minis are generally faster. Good job there from Vic. But look at the tire wear. We're less than 10 minutes in, and he's more than 50% front left already worn. So I think he will have to stop before the end of the race. He could stop halfway through, you know, and use the most of the fresh tires, or keep pushing until a little bit later. Socrates has got a little bit more tire wear. We know Socrates is very tire hungry, his way of driving, even though he's on the wheel. I think he's got a G29 if I remember well. But Socrates is quite tire hungry. Pecos actually is wearing quite a bit of rubber. He goes early to the pits. Pecos early into the pits, the first one to go for fresh rubber. Don Mitsako stays out. I think Ridge Raider and Rob, they might be able to go the distance without fresh boots, without having to change tires. So Pecos comes back 9 seconds behind. 9 seconds behind Rob on drums. And we have 4 or 5 laps left. Let's do some quick maths here. So he's clocking 43s, while Rob is clocking, well, he did 47 the last lap, probably a mistake because Ridge Raider is in front now, but say 45s in average, that's what they are doing. That's 2 seconds difference. Pickles would need 4 to 5 laps to get past them. So, a little mistake there from Ridge Raider. Going off track. So 4 to 5 laps plus the wear that these guys are going to have towards the race, and battling like this as well, they are going to slow each other down. So I think we're going to see, say, 3 to 4 laps between Pickles catches up. He's got enough time, but it will be, he'll have to push, no mistakes allowed. So maybe if you're able to do a no stop here, it might pay off. Ridge Raider, in saying that, is going in. Remember, pit stops are optional. Look at Tricky Vic's tire wear, horrendous. He should be going in at the end of this lap. Might want to consider racing in the mediums next race. You never know. Socrates as well, he definitely will need fresh boots. Ridge Raider came back 17 seconds behind Pickles, so the pits here are quite long actually. We're gonna try to get the time from someone else. Looking at Pickles' time, so that's 10 plus 6, so about 16 seconds of track time, perhaps, maybe more. 16 seconds in lap time. Right, Vic should be going in now. Don't think it's worth running on just the rims, but he stays out. Vic stays out. Interesting, he's got a good gap. Socrates will stay out as well. Okay, so we are seeing some interesting strategies from these guys. The front runners, Don staying out. Don's got a little bit more rubber than the other two guys. Rob on drums, he's got 50% of the tires left, and we only have 5 minutes of race left as well. So Rob does not need to stop. He might bag a fourth place here if he keeps going like this. Pickles is catching up, but yeah, Pickles might be able to get him. Let's see. He's got fresh tires still. Did a 43 there, while Rob did 45.7 the last race. So yeah, roughly 2 seconds difference per lap. So by the end of lap 10, I think Pico's going to be right on the back of Rob. And this is a 12 lap race. So yeah, Rob's going to have to put up a hell of a fight in worn tires. Let's see how warm Pico's start is going to be by the time he gets to Rob. Vic, no trouble from him at the moment. Final corner. It's interesting to see from this angle the difference in height from the straight to the rest of the track. It doesn't look like a lot when you're driving, but when you look from that angle, it's quite a bit. And Vic staying out, Socrates is staying out as well, and so is Don. Okay, are they gonna drive on the rims like we saw in Spa? So Pickles, he is 26 seconds off the leader. It is a huge gap, and less than 1 second between Rob and Pickles. I think it's not even end of lap 10. I think Pickles might be able to pass halfway through this lap. But 26 seconds difference between Pickles and the front runner. So Pickles, he was very close. Oh, a bit of contact there actually. I think Rob made a little mistake at the entry and ended up getting pushed wide. Yes, he completely missed the brake actually. I think the worn tires cost him the braking point. So because it's 26 seconds, got a 1 second penalty there, probably after the contact or cutting corner. 26 seconds off the leader, but he was right there with Socrates before the pit stops. So maybe it's worth running on the rims. Let's see. This 20-second gap. Maybe running on the rims is more worth than pitting. But I wonder if running on mediums is better. Because Vic at the moment he's only losing about 2 seconds per lap compared to his fastest lap. Which is not too bad. We're not seeing rain again with the minis. A little bit more rubber left for Don. Clocking 45s here. Vic still clocking 43s. How can he do that? No rubber left on his front left. Halfway through the front right as well. The same for Socrates. Don's got a little bit more left on the front left tires. And the gap to Pickles is going down. Not to the leader, but to the other guy. So Pickles managed to do a 42.6 now with the fresh rubber. That's a great improvement for him. But I don't think he can close that gap to Don and Socrates at the moment. Rob on drums with a no pit strategy. He's got 17 seconds gap over Ridge Raider. Continues to clock 45s. Rob did a 50 there when he made a mistake, but he was doing 45s still before, while the tires were still a little bit alive. So yeah, looks like a no stop is the way to go here. Fun to say here in the chat, he's not in the mood to race today because of last week. Come on, last week is in the past, man. It's water under the bridge. Don't hold too much onto it. Hope to have you here next week for round 3. I think is Deep Forest next week. You're always welcome to race with us, man. Don't leave one small mistake ruin your mood. It's bad for the liver. Sock Art of Driving completely out of rubber now. And this is the final lap. Yes, this is the final lap. 12 laps for these guys also. Looks like the no-stop strategy is the way to go. Final corner for Vic. He's got the fastest lap of 42.1, and here he comes. Goes a little bit too wide. No trouble for him. He would not open an extra lap here. It's too much to open an extra lap in this race. But he will take the win for Heat 1 of the Mini VGT division, ahead of Sock Art of Driving 10 seconds behind. Vic doing his thing there at the end. Here comes Socrates, and Dom Mitsakos will take P3 to complete the podium. Ricardo Pickles in P4 after the pit stop. Robon Drums P5. Robon Drums P5 with the no-stop strategy, and look at that, one of the only men not to wear his tires completely. Very, very good job there from Rob. If only he had a little bit of extra pace, he would be able to fight for more positions, maybe challenge Pickles with the pit stop. And here comes Ridge Raider. Gentleman for not putting the plug, even though he's coming further back than the other guys. But Tricky Vic with the win. Amazing, amazing work from him here today. Let's get the replay saved, and here are the official results. Tricky Vic, Sock Art of Driving, Dom Mitsakos, Ricardo Pickles, Robon Drums, and Ridge Raider. Mrs. Rallycross just updating the live timing sheets. Right, let's make the changes here to host sets the grid. Beautiful blue sky at the start of the race, and then we have proper Japanese mountain weather at the end of the race. Ricardo Pickles a little bit happier with the results. Maybe the medium tires, man. Maybe medium tires are the way to go. Right, let's put the guys in order. Starting grid, that is Ridge Raider with the pole position. Robon Drums in P2. Then it was Pickles, Don, Socrates, and Vic. Ridge Raider there saying good idea. Vic does not want to go with mediums. Come on, Vic. Last to first in medium tires. If anyone can do it, that's you, man. Let's give another few seconds for the guys down there saying he's got trouble with the tires. The time loss on the softs towards the final stages of the race, I don't know if it compensates going with the medium, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe if the race was another like 5 minutes longer, they would have done a pit stop, they would have gone mediums. Who knows? Is everybody ready? Vic is ready. Everybody else, yes, ready. Ridge Raider. Just gonna give them another 5 seconds. Don't worry, Funchy. We all get a little bit angry when you're young. It's gonna get better with age. But yeah, Mrs. Rallycross here saying, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, don't worry, mate. Don't put this too hard. Don't be too hard on yourself. This is just a game. You're supposed to have fun, not stress yourself out. Rob saying, "I like this place, like Mary Lincoln likes the theater." I do not understand the reference, but Ridge Raider seems to get it. If someone can explain the joke for me, please, I would appreciate. Welcome to Rallycross GT. We are in Fuji International Speedway, ready for the Heat 2 with the Mini Countryman VGTs. Heat 2 is with the reverse grid, so we have Ridge Raider at the front and Tricky Vic at the back. And here they go. We have Ridge Raider with the medium tires. He does not want to do a pit stop this time. He wants to go the whole distance, and Tricky Vic there almost losing positions already. Dom Mitsakos goes for a lunge there, a little bit too bold in that move, ends up taking Ridge Raider off the lead and hands the lead actually to Tricky Vic in a silver plate. Dom Mitsakos, what were you thinking? Goes super wide again. Pushing a little bit too hard here at the start of the race. We're gonna have to check the replay, see if there was any contact there with anyone. Dark Raider saying he likes being in because it's fun. It's all fun and games here, man. We're here just to have fun. Can't take this too serious. Of course it's important, it's a competition and there are prizes on the line. It's just a game. Life's too short to be worried about, to be stressed out just with a game. Ricardo Pickles sideways here in the tight corners, fighting with Socrates. Now he's between Socrates and Don. I think Ridge Raider was the only driver to take soft tires. A bit of a sideways moment for Pickles. Nudges Dom Mitsakos. Dom Mitsakos goes really wide. Rubber being burned here. We have a little bit of smoke that's gonna look gorgeous on the photos. He gets ahead of Rob on drums. Side by side with Pickles, and he's going for the kill. Side by side, Don got a little bit of extra speed off the corner. And Don Mitsakos gets P3 back. Very good move there at the end of the straight, but is that contact again? Little nudge there from Pickles. They're racing door to door here, some hard racing from both of them. But there's no love lost between those two. They know that, you know, this type of thing happens. No one is intentionally trying to push each other out of the track. Rob on drums, holding on to P5 and Ridge Raider. Let's see if he can make those medium tires stick and work. I expect him to catch up with Rob towards the end of the race. Vic with it. Let's see the replay again for that start of race with Rob with Dom Mitsakos. So we see Dom coming around the inside, the orange car. Yeah, he completely overshoots the corner and collects Ridge Raider. Then as he brings the car back, he gets a nudge from behind from Rob as well. So not the start of race that Don wanted, nor Ridge Raider for that matter. Ricardo, because I think he had a penalty, just paid it now and lost the position to Dom Mitsakos again. We We have the same grid position from race 1 now. Tricky Vic starting last. Vic, you have to racing mediums next race. I don't care what they say. You're gonna have to racing mediums. Vic OP, please nerf.
What? Controller player! That is a controller player!
Yes, Vic is on the controller, Socrates is on the wheel, I think Don is on the wheel, Pickles is definitely the wheel, and the VR headset, Rob as well. I think everybody else here is on the wheel. It's interesting that myth that you see people on Facebook groups or Reddit saying, oh yeah, because this guy's on the wheel makes it faster, blah blah blah. Well, maybe it can make you faster, but just because you have a wheel doesn't mean that you are generally faster than controller. There are ways to be fast in controller because Gran Turismo was made to be played with a controller, unlike other racing games. Dirt Rally, Dirt 2.0 Rally, on the other hand, playing that with a controller is tough. It's tough gig. 42.6, 42.5 from Vic in the last 2 laps, and a 42.0 from Sock Art of Driving. Socrates is now pushing really hard. I think he got the hang of the car and the track from the previous race. It's putting some pressure on Vic now. Not close enough to mount an attack on the track, but in terms of lap time, he's going purple again by 300s. So Socrates wants to take that win. Ricardo, Pickles and Don also engaging in a battle here for P3. Pickles holding on to P4. They've been battling since the start of the race, but Don seems to be getting the edge of the battle right now. .7 gap going up ever so slightly. Meanwhile, Rob on drums has a 6.5 gap over Ridge Raider, the only driver to be bold enough to get mediums for race 2. We saw that some drivers will opt for staying out on completely worn tires, while others decided to pit. And Rob on drums was the only man brave enough not to pit at all. Very good tire management. As Ricardo Pickles tries to close the gap, he's outside the slip range from Don. Can't seem to be close enough for an attack at the end of the straight. Closer now. This corner, I find it quite tricky with this car. And if you are watching and you would like to join us for round 3, please just send us a message on Instagram or here on Twitch as well. We do have spaces. We would love to have some new faces with us. Even if you just want to join as a one-off, it's always good to have new drivers, to meet new people, and of course to have a bigger grid, more battles as well on the track. Pickles goes a little bit wide there, touches the grass. Vic with a 2 seconds gap. It's going up slightly, 42.4 versus a 42.1. So Vic responded in the last lap. Let's see the time here at lap 5. It was a 42.7. 42.6. So yeah, a bit of time lost for both drivers actually. I think it's the tire wear starting to kick in. Just wish this update had made something like racing with completely worn tires impossible, like it was a couple of days before. I think the 127 or 128 having worn tires was really bad for business. But now no one cares. You can race on the rims. You're still fast enough. You can still control the car. Pico's closing the gap a little bit, 0.5, 0.6, but not close enough to make a move. Can Pico's get a podium here in this race? He's not thrilled with his performance in the KTM's, his native division. He's filling in for the minis this time. Needs to push a little bit harder. So Pico's losing a lot of ground in this middle sector actually. So will he choose to run on the rims this time, or will he stop? I don't think he will stop this time again. He wants to just keep going. Rob, he should have enough rubber to go the whole distance. And so should Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider actually is quite tire hungry. His mediums are almost as worn as Rob's softs. And one thing that I haven't explicitly said, but I'm not sure if anyone noticed, you know, since you have both tire compounds available, if you want to mix up, be my guest, you can run mediums in the front and softs in the back to have the extra traction off the corners. No one said that that's not allowed. That would definitely help with performance. Let's see if anyone listening to the broadcast will try that for next round for Deep Forest. Deep Forest is another track with hard braking points and a lot more corners than Bathurst and Fuji. So I think I would expect drivers to not run on the rims anymore, because turning becomes quite difficult. And it will cost a lot of time on that track. So the gap now is 1 second. Vic probably made a mistake. Lost quite a bit of time. Can Socrates steal that win from Vic? Vic had a double win last week. He already took 1 win in race 2 of the KTM division. He's gonna get 3 wins today. Or can Socrates stop him? Combo breaker. Vic recovers a little bit of the gap there in turn 1. As Don manages to edge Ricardo Pickles by quite a bit as well. And Pickles has got very, very high tire wear. He's the highest tire wear off the grid, actually, Ricardo Pickles. Just a bit higher than Socrates, but yes, it's definitely the highest tire wear off the grid. Should have picked medium tires, mate. Rob on drums 13 seconds over Ridge Raider. Ridge Raider keeps pushing, not giving up, that's the most important thing. Rob holding on to P5. Now I wonder if when the tire wear hits and Pickles start losing time, if Rob can close that gap. So Pickles is clocking 44.7. Rob had a 46.7 now. So That's 2 seconds off. But other than that, he's doing 45s. 12 seconds, I think, is going to be too much of a stretch. I think he would be able to take 1 second per lap only. Not enough to pay off. Tricky Vic back to stretching his lead. 2 seconds now to Socrates. Both of them with the tire wear pretty high, but we know that they are not going to stop this time. And Ricardo Pickle is up to P3. What happened? Don Mitsakos, he's down to P4. We're gonna have to call a replay here. What happened? Maybe he overshot turn 1. Yeah, as you can see, the brake discs lighting up. Completely overshoots turn 1. Guess the tire is really dirty. He loses a lot of time there coming back to the track. He's got the inside line, but he's not close enough to make the move. That's Ricardo Pickles up to P3 and into the podium. Do's got a bit more tire wear though, so he should be able to attack back. Melon was messaging me earlier on Twitch, on Discord, saying that he cannot enter Twitch without authenticating his email. So that explains why he's not here. Cheering in the chat, but Melon, we miss you. Go authenticate your email, come back to the chat. Join the banter wagon. Socrates is gonna run out of rubber slightly before Vic. Interesting to see that Socrates is also using a lot more fuel. Actually, I just noticed Socrates is driving on automatic transmission today. Yes, talking to Don yesterday, he said that his pedals are messed up, so he cannot shift. So a bit of a problem there, hindering Socrates' ability to challenge Vic for the win, I guess. And that also explains the high fuel consumption. He's over-revving the car a bit too much. And here we have the battle between Pickles and Don. Pickles is already out of rubber. Don's got a little bit left. For how long can Pickles hold this one? Don is already looking on the inside, into the heavy braking zone. Pickles remains in P3, going through the twisty corners. Overshoots a little bit. I think there's going to be a penalty for Pickles. Let's wait a little bit longer. No penalty. That's lucky. No penalty for Pickles. Don is almost running out of rubber. He's definitely going to run out of rubber at the end of the straight now. So Pickles opens 1 second with 2 laps to go. Is he going to get his first podium? Let's watch Don. He is closing the gap. He got a better exit of the corner. The tires are still lasting a little bit there. Just 1 pixel left. I think he's running out of juice. Talking about, sorry, the Socrates there. Yeah, but talking about fuel consumption, Pickles is using more fuel than Socrates. Way to go there in making the car lighter and running more. Probably another small mistake from Don. Now he's completely out of rubber in the front left. And the gap's going up to 1.3. I don't think Don will be able to fight back here, unless we see a mistake from the veteran Canadian driver. Meanwhile up front as well. Yeah, I don't think Vic will be challenged by Socrates towards the end of this race. How is Rob doing? He's still got plenty of rubber, but only 1 minute left. He's faster than Don now. So Don is clocking 48 in the previous lap where he made a mistake, and then 46. And so Rob is taking 1 second per lap, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And also Ridge Raider running on medium tires, 47s, hit a 52 there, probably a mistake. The medium tire is a lot more slippery in this cold weather, not great. Might need to use the handbrake a little bit. I like to use the handbrakes with these cars to help you turn in the sharp corners. Slow in, fast out. Gets a bit more traction, especially in the long straights. It helps. Here comes Tricky Vic for the final sector. Dominic is 2 seconds back now. I don't think he will be able to challenge Pickles anymore. Yes, get the excitement going there. Tricky Vic. 2 corners to go between him and another double win. Perfect start of season for Tricky Vic. Just about make up Mount Fuji there in the background. And here comes Tricky Vic to take his 2nd win here in the Mini VGT, 3rd win of the day for round 2 of Rallycross GT Sprint Series with Sock Art of Driving in 2nd place, also sideways across the finish line. Ricardo Pickles is going to be absolutely thrilled to take his first podium here today. Flashing the lights very close to the flag with Domi Tackles in P4. Rob on drums, the only man not to use his whole set of rubbers. Coming around in P5. And Ridge Raider is quite far back. Can he still cross the finish line? I think he can. Yes, he can. There's Ridge Raider. A little bit off pace, but absolute gentleman for not giving up. Where are the cheers for him? Yes. Cheers for Ridge Raider across the finish line in 6th place. And Tricky Vic with the double win today. He's here in the chat as well, cheering for his mate Rick. But Vic with the double win with the Mini VGT division. Let's get replay saved. And here are the official results. That's Tricky Vic with a double win. Sock Art of Driving P2 with the fastest lap this time, 42.0. And Ricardo Pickles with the podium in this race. Pickles saying here in the chat, much more fun this time. It's good to see that he's more excited. But that's it for racing today. Thanks again to all the drivers today. Let's just prepare the lobby for next week so drivers can save the race and practice if they want. That's going to be Deep Forest Raceway in the sunset. This is going to be round 3 of the Sprint Series next week here on Twitch. Congratulations to Coach Robey for the first win there in the KTMs and Tricky Vic for the win in Heat 2. And then congratulations for Tricky Vic for the double win in the Mini VGT. Thanks to all the drivers for joining today. Thanks for those who have participated in both divisions, helping out to fill up the grids. We are having some issues with drivers pulling out in the last minutes, complaining about the tires. And other reasons as well that they can't attend the race. We want to provide the best of the show for you guys here, so If you know anyone else who would like to race with us, do let us know, put them in touch. Let's get Rallycross GT growing and more cars on the track, because it's always more fun for the drivers and for me to commentate and for you spectators as well. Deep Forest Raceway next week, but that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt Dunninger, your host for today. This was Rallycross GT Round 2 from Fuji International Speedway. We're gonna just prepare a raid here, see who is around. Let's just have a quick look. We're gonna raid Fizz. Good old Fizz, let's say hello to him. Fizz was racing. Let's go, all of us. Give a very warm welcome to Fizz. He's got a magnificent beard, very good lad. Always very entertaining to watch. He's playing some Wreckfest, and I mean actual Wreckfest and not Gran Turismo daily races. Thanks again everyone who joined today, and see you guys next week.